Bernard Otieno Okoth, popularly known as Imran, is the ODM nominee to vie for the vacant Kibra constituency seat on November 7th. This has come as a surprise to many because, for instance, on this channel, many of us said that they expected Christon Odhiambo, the popular DJ, better known as Kris Darlin, to win that particular nomination. But Kris Darlin was not even second. He wasn't even third. He trailed far behind with 417 votes only. While Imran, the late Okoth's brother, garnered 4,382 votes. A very huge difference. Now in this show, we're going to look at what this nomination of Imran means going forward into the by-election. Does it give the ODM party any advantages? Or does it in fact give the main challenger, Jubilee's Mcdonald Mariga, the edge? Which is which? And I highly recommend that you stick around because I've got some very interesting, super fascinating things to say. But first, a heads up. The latest weekly intelligence briefs is due to be released very shortly after the release of this particular video on the public channel. And what I can tell you is that it is sizzling hot, because it introduces new information about the alleged plot against Deputy President William Samoei Ruto. Or if I can put it in our local Kiswahili language, inaguza au kuguzia kwa undani njama ya uwaji dhidi ya makamu wa rais wa Kenya, William Samoei Ruto. And it does that, that is look at the said allegations, by referring to an incident that happened in remote Turkana in March this year. You know that whole drama about the alleged plot against the deputy president is still shrouded in a lot of mystery, although we still have a case in court where somebody is accused of faking a letter. But already in that case, we've had quite a number of shocks, including witnesses changing their statements. Yes, that is a WIB that you should not miss. Unfortunately, the special offer to join the WIBs is still on, where you pay less than 30% of the usual cost to join WIB. Details should be on your screens right now, so go for it. But for now, back to Kibra. Now, one of the reasons why Imran Okoth won this particular nomination has to be the fact that he kept a safe distance from the party leader Raila Odinga and focused on door-to-door campaigns in the constituency, using his experience as the chair of the CDF in this particular constituency, a post that he has held for almost 7 years, under his late brother. Kris Darlin did the exact opposite, and tried to get the party leader to hold his hands through the nominations. That is using his precise words. That's what he said. As he dramatically knelt down before party leader Raila Odinga during a rally in Kibra to introduce the candidates, the possible candidates for the ODM nomination. And the results of the just concluded ODM nominations clearly tell us that this caused voters in Kibra to completely lose appetite for voting for Kris Darlin. I have reason to believe that the runner-up, Peter Orero, suffered the same fate. Orero is a teacher who has worked with Kibra constituents for the last 29 years. He presented a beautiful, well thought out manifesto. That should have endeared him to voters, and helped him take advantage of the fact that Imran was already in trouble with constituents. You'll remember that they have linked him to the cremation of his late brother. Actually, Imran actively participated in the cremation of his late brother. Instead of doing the right thing politically and distancing himself for political reasons from that cremation. And even telling voters that he was obeying the wishes of his late brother, didn't fly. And so, in other words, teacher Orero was given a through pass, but he failed to score. Why? Because persistent rumors started circulating in the constituency that he was a Raila Odinga project. And although he denied it, he strongly denied these rumors, the thing about rumors during elections is that voters tend to believe them, very quickly. And so it seems in the eyes of voters, they had no other alternative, but to gift Imran with this particular ODM nomination. Tumekupatia, lakini tunakuangalia kwa makini sana. Voters may have said something like that. Now, I'm sure most of you are wondering, why are Kibra voters behaving like this? Because once upon a time, getting the blessings of the party leader was a through pass. It meant that he would definitely get the nomination. Well, the answer is simple. It is because of growing annoyance and discontent amongst ODM followers countrywide, who have suffered many situations where candidates have been imposed on them by the ODM High Command. That is situations where another candidate is more popular on the ground, but then the party frustrates that particular candidate and he ends up losing. It appears that Kenyan voters are fed up, and especially ODM supporters, of being told who to vote for, despite the fact that they have their own preferences. And if truth be told, the ODM party is notorious for imposing candidates. The lesson here, the very clear lesson, is that be a supporter of ODM, yes. Be a supporter of Raila Odinga, yes. However, don't be a toddler breastfeeding or attempting to breastfeed from Raila Odinga. Voters don't like that. Going forward, they'll always reject toddlers breastfeeding from Raila Odinga, or rather attempting to breastfeed. There's another side to this alleged imposing of candidates that most Kenyans are not aware of. Party nominations in Kenya have always been very tricky, especially for ODM, because of the tactics of the opponents. And most Kenyans are unaware of this. Most Kenyans are of the view, why don't you just hold free and fair party nominations and let the most popular candidate get elected? Sounds easy and straightforward, but actually it isn't. This is politics. What if your opponents pour money into your nomination exercise? The aim being to plant a spy, bang in the middle of your political party. What if they do that? And indeed, ODM have suffered this fate very many times. And I'm going to give you the most glaring example of this from the 2017 general elections. Most of you will remember that the Busia gubernatorial nominations for ODM were very chaotic. So chaotic that after the initial nominations, where incumbent Sospita Ojamong garnered 92,358 votes against his challenger, the then Funyula MP, Paul Otuoma, who garnered 63,752. That initial nomination exercise was followed by endless meetings at party headquarters, after which a repeat nomination exercise was ordered. And in the end, Paul Otuoma left the ODM party and vied for this seat as an independent, although he didn't succeed. It was very clear to most Kenyans that the ODM High Command did not want Bwana Paul Otuoma to win that nomination. Indeed, they went out of the way to frustrate, Bwana Otuoma. And it was very annoying. It looked very unfair. Where was the justice in this? In fact, people are saying ODM is not a democratic party at all. It's a dictatorial political party, fond of imposing candidates on the electorate. Now, time usually reveals a lot of things. I've said that repeatedly on this channel. And with the benefit of hindsight, it is now very clear that Bwana Paul Otuoma was a DP Ruto man, has always been a firm DP Ruto man. And it appears that the ODM High Command got wind of this. They had this information. And therefore they were not going to allow Bwana Otuoma to win that nomination. You know, one thing that has also become very clear, with the passing of time, is the fact that Jubilee, and specifically Deputy President William Samoei Ruto, sponsored quite a number of candidates who were in ODM. And although many of these candidates were smoked out, many others went through. Like that lady who's a legislator in Malindi. And this also neatly explains the Mohammed Ali fiasco in the Nyali constituency, where he was forced in the end to vie as an independent candidate after the ODM party completely locked him out. At the time, it appeared to be a great injustice. But looking back now, many of us would have done the same thing. Because what do you do when your opponents infiltrate your party? What do you do? Because if you relax and let them do what they want to do, they will finish you. This is politics. Anyway, the nomination of Bernard Otieno Okoth, aka Imran, sets the stage for a serious, bruising political battle in Kibra constituency. You know, many of us make the mistake of assuming that by-elections are exactly the same as general elections. They are not. Those two are very different. In fact, by-elections the world over are very tricky for any political party. They are a headache. And especially in Kenya, where it is very easy for your opponents to manipulate the whole exercise. The fact that turnouts for these by-elections are always very low opens the door to a lot of options a dirty player would have. And so this one is going to be super interesting. Let's wait and see what happens. Until next time, this is Kris Kumekucha.